watching a little bit of boxing. This is an impromptu watch party. Right now I'm watching Tiara Brown defend her world title versus, I think it's Eva Gongora from France. Tiara Brown fights out of the US, and she's the current WBC champ. Right now we're between rounds. It's a 10-round, 2-minute fight. Okay, so we're about to start next round, and here we go. Oh, hang on. Technical disaster with my cat. Okay. There we go. Okay, back in action. We are in the 5th round out of 10. Tiara Brown versus Gongora. Gongora fighting out of France. Hey Sean, what's up? I would say it's a close fight. This is a tough one to score. Women are mostly standing in close range. I think that's really more of Gongora's fight in close. I would think Brown wants to be a little bit more on the outside. She has the height and reach. She's got long legs, long arms, but she seems, right now she's fighting on the inside with Gongora. But even when she gets a little bit out to the mid-range, she has a nice 1-2. There she just got off a nice 1-2-3. Gongora comes right back with a 1-2-1. In this particular fight, I mean, I'm going to go with the reigning champ, Tiara Brown. But this is a close fight. Let's see if Brown can pull away in the second half of the fight. A nice jab there by Tiara. Nice jab, right hand, left. Another nice 1-2 by Brown. Gongora doing a little bit of grappling on the inside. There was a nice little short left hook by Brown. Hello, RA from New Jersey. You from Jersey? All right, we're watching this female fight between the reigning champ Tiara Brown versus, I think it's Eva Gongora fighting out of France. Clearly, Brown is the A side. They brought Gongora in as an opponent. I don't think we have a translator in Gongora's corner. That's unfortunate. They could have gotten a translator. All right, hi RA from New Jersey. Okay, here we go. We're in the second half of this women's WBC title fight between reigning champ Tiara Brown. Right here, she's starting the right way. Brown is. The jab and then a lead left hook right hand. That was nicely done. Oh, and she just barely missed with that nice right uppercut. Now she's doing the right thing, making use of that jab from the outside to set up the next couple of punches. Jab to the body by Brown. No quit in Gongora though. She doesn't stop throwing. Good level change there by Gongora. Nice little hooks on the inside. Nice uppercut by Gongora. I mean, this is where Gongora wants to be, is right there on the inside. Gongora just covering up with a high double guard while Brown tees off a little bit and then they close up. Again in close. And Brown's getting off some nice little uppercuts right on the inside. Oh, now Brown's starting to get a little bit cute. start to shake, faint, starting to feel herself a little bit. She's getting out some hard shots now. Starting to open up in the second half of this fight. That's Tiara Brown, kind of smiling. Looks like she's talking to Gongora a little bit. Dropping that lead hand, putting herself up against the ropes. Gongora grappling a little bit there. All right, so here we have Brown starting to turn the tide here. Opening up. Gongora's just pushing her off with both hands. To her credit, Gongora is getting out some hooks to the body and hooks to the head, but Brown is definitely starting to pull away in this round and just landed a nice straight right hand. Almost got that right uppercut. Well, now she's okay, and that's the round. These are short rounds, right? 2 minutes. Yeah, she started to get a little bit cute there, a little bit showboaty, starting to feel herself, but yeah, sometimes that's okay because a fighter just starts to get that surge of confidence, and that's just part of their character coming out. So as long as she doesn't just clown too much in the next few rounds, I think she'll be okay. But she does need to focus and stick to those nice long shots because that's where she's winning this fight. It's just harder for her to win on the inside. Oh, it's Emma Gongora. Sorry, not Eva. I misspoke. But yeah, since Gongora's comfortable on the inside, I just don't feel like that's where Brown needs to be. All right, here we go. 7th round out of 10. Again, Brown opening up with a nice double jab right hand. Another jab right hand. See, when she's at this sort of mid-range distance, she does her best, I think. And which is all she really needs to do to win this fight, is just keep winning those exchanges with the jab and her right hand. Follow that up with something if she wants to, like left hook, left to the body. A nice lead left hook there by Brown. I like how Gongora is feinting up and then going lower. Nice little pivot move there by Gongora. And to her credit, Gongora is level changing well and trying to move around Brown, but right now she's getting caught with Brown's jab and right hand, straight right hand. I would say if Gongora needs to follow up, she throws that right hand and then stops. If she would follow up with a left body shot or a left hook to the head, that would be great. I think Brown really now has a lot of confidence. She's walking forward. Oh, nice overhand right uppercut combination there by Gongora. Right, and as Gongora weaves underneath and comes inside, that's where Brown doesn't want to be. Right there, where they're right in close, starting to tie up here. See, but when Gongora, when they break up from that grappling, Gongora pulls out just a little bit too much, and that's where Brown's able to catch her. Gongora would be best to keep her head planted right on Brown's chest, just continue to wail away. And that's the round. These rounds go by quickly. All right, the body language there by Emma Gongora, looking a little dejected, which is understandable. Brown is really starting to get the best of her in this round. Brown is just showing off her skill set here, covering up, waiting to counter Emma. And Tiara is now able to come back with like 3-punch combinations and counter. So yeah, I think she's found a rhythm that as Brown has, and is comfortable even on the inside, even though that's not to her advantage at that distance. Not sure why the ref was delaying the start of that round, but he did. Here we go. It's the 8th round. We got 2 more. Thanks so much, Sean. I really appreciate your support. All right, here we got Brown again, just starting out properly behind a nice straight jab, jab right hand. Gongora doing a lot of upper body shifting, trying to use her footwork. Oh, but she just gets caught right there with a nice long jab from Brown. Returns the 1-2. Gongora did land that 1-2, but just did not have quite the same effect as Brown's shots do from the outside, like right there. Nice double jab right hand by Brown. Don't like that she celebrates that right hand a little bit, but no harm, no foul. I suppose she was out of range from getting hit, but that's just not a habit you want to keep reinforcing. Haha, Wally's, is it Wolfie? Canelo Pendejo. Yeah. Canelo needed to turn it up a little bit, right? Just not enough volume. All right, here we go. We got Gongora just trying to move away, move around, get inside and tie up a little bit with Brown. But by tying up, Gongora's not going to pull ahead on the scorecards. She's got to not tie up and just wail away on the inside. But Gongora seems to want to stand a little bit on the outside. Okay, here we go. We get a little bit of a few body shots in this closing half minute. Tiara ripping off some body shots. Neither woman is super effective on the inside, I have to say here. Oh, and I think that was a left hook by Brown, staggered Gongora. Not sure if that was a left hook or a right, but right towards the end of the round there. All right, so this is clearly Tiara Brown's fight. She will, barring a fluke in the last 2 rounds here, where Gongora lands somehow a miraculous Hail Mary 1-punch KO, I think this is Tiara Brown's fight running away. All right, so what did you guys think of Canelo Crawford? I mean, I was surprised that the size difference didn't matter. I thought the size would be more of a factor, but it wasn't. So props to Crawford, because he proved me wrong. He proved everybody else who doubted him wrong. But yeah, I thought the size was going to be the major factor. And you know, during the fight, Canelo just didn't make the adjustment to increase his volume, which is what he needed to do if he wanted to get that decision. All right, here we go. Penultimate round of this title defense for Tiara Brown. Again, she opens up nicely with the jab right hand, left hook. She's really starting to hunt Gongora down. Not sure. I'm wondering if Brown's going to go in for the stoppage victory here. She's starting to put a little more spice on her punches. Oh, what did the ref? I don't know what he was signaling there. Anyways, yeah, Gongora, to her credit, she's moving around, but not quite sure how to be effective here. She just threw a 1-2, and her right hand doesn't really land flush. Oh, there she got in a little overhand right. Brown, confident, just eating these punches. Brown came back with a nice little uppercut. Yeah, Brown really starting to feel relaxed and comfortable in there with all these little feint motions. And Emma Gongora is doing the right thing, as given her skill set. She's doing what she can, but as I said, she ends on that right hand, and I would love to see her add a left hook behind that, because if she misses with that right hand, she's open. All right, now they're grappling on the inside, trying to punch with her free hand, but that's not where, see, Gongora just did a push off right there. That's not what she wants to do, and she just got tagged 3 times by Tiara Brown at that mid-range. Gongora has to really try to jab her way in. She's doing a nice feinting job, but she's staying on the outside and getting caught by Brown. She's got some nice movement, but again, come back with that left. Come back with that left. Yeah, and Brown's starting to feel herself now, walking in on Gongora with her hands down. Sean is saying with shock that Canelo didn't try a new game plan. He literally did the same thing he does in every fight. I think they will rematch in the future. Yeah, I mean, I would assume that Canelo had a rematch clause in his contract. That would be shocking if he didn't. But quite honestly, I don't know what... I think Crawford can call his own shots now. He doesn't really need to fight Canelo again unless that there is a rematch clause. They could always buy Canelo out, pay him off. Okay, here we go. Last round. Tiara Brown defending her world title versus Emma Gongora. And I think it's safe to say that Brown is handily winning this title defense. Alright, not sure why the ref is... Okay, just had the woman touch gloves, and here we go. 10th and final round, 2 minutes. Right, Gongora starts off well here with her jab, as does Brown. Oh, there we go. Gongora finally put together 3 punches, meaning jab, right hand, left hook. But Brown has really gotten accustomed to Gongora's rhythm and distance and is comfortable just letting Gongora throw, and then Brown comes right back, staying right on top of her, walking towards her, throwing a nice little 5-punch combination right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Women tie up a little bit near the ropes. Again, not to Gongora's advantage there. Nice little weave under by Gongora. She's trying to move along the ropes. But being the smaller fighter, she needs to get right on the inside and not grapple, which is what she's doing. Lama is saying, matchmaking. Hi. Carlin. Rematch worthless in my opinion. Canelo just not on the Crawford level. True. Okay, so now Gongora just ended on a right hand and then caught with Tiara's left hook. Oh, now Brown switched momentarily to southpaw. Like I said, she's really... In the second half of the fight, starts feeling herself here. Last 20 seconds, 15 seconds of this fight. Brown has switched to southpaw. Now back to righty. Doing a little lean back. I think she knows she has this fight won. But to Emma's credit, she's throwing leather to the final bell here. And that's it. Alright, so I pretty much expect a clean sweep here for Tiara Brown. I don't think they're going to give Emma any rounds at all. Reggie, hey, how are you? Thank you so much, Reggie. Really appreciate the support on these lives and definitely on the workout lives. I'm not even sure, like I haven't gone back to see if I can read the comments on the lives, but if I do, it would only be to scroll through in blocks of people or something. I don't know. But I don't know, why is it that guys always figure they gotta give me advice on what to do or not to do in terms of boxing training, like in terms of the technical stuff. And it's like, who are these dudes that drop these comments like, oh, use an uppercut, oh, you're hitting the speed bag wrong? Like, I don't even think they train. So why do they feel that they're qualified to give me advice? I don't know. Those are trolls like the kids, yeah. I'm sure. You're right, Sean. Alright, so here we go. Let's listen in for this decision. I expect this to be 190. Oh, that's funny, Reggie. Yeah. I started in 93, technically, but there's been lots of times off between then and now, so... Sean says, pray for good judges. Yeah, no, I think they're going to give this to Brown.
After going all 10 rounds inside the OTX ring, we consult the official
What? 98, 92 twice, and 190 still Tiara Brown. All right. Well, no surprise there. Reggie says, oh, Carlin's asking me who's my favorite boxer ever. Oh, probably Joe Louis. Reggie, I'm making up for it since 6 days a week training. You're a beast. Thank you. Yeah, 6 days a week at this point. Take Sunday off. All right. So I don't know if this is Ak or Barak in the ring. Are you guys even watching this? Ak, Barak, whatever. I don't know how some of these people, social media people, work their way into being on camera. Like Mike Coppinger, this other kid, the Wade concept, whoever the heck that is, and this Ak and Barak or Ak and Barak or whatever they are. Yeah, he's the in-ring interviewer. I'm gonna just keep him on mute. But tell me what fights you guys are looking forward to. I'm not so excited about the Eubank Ben rematch, really. I kind of would like to see each of those guys fight again, but not each other. Just part of it is because it was just such a long build-up. Like it's just too long for Eubank Ben to happen, and so now it's like, yeah, I like both guys, but you want to see Chael Sonnen, Sean? Sean, oh, how do I avoid injuries? Just, I mean, I just do. I don't know. I guess my body's used to training that much, that training volume. Just focus on technique. I don't really have a good answer for you there. Sorry. Oh, Topuria Crawford, right. Since they both walk out to the same song and Crawford goes, oh yeah, good for him, or whatever he said. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I mean, I almost feel like Crawford needs to find someone else to fight. Like, Benavidez says he's not coming back down to 168. There's no way Bud's gonna go up to 175. So I don't know. Who is it? Frank Warren's calling, of course, for Canelo to fight Hamza, which in a sense, Hamza kind of earned it. He proved himself by knocking out Edgar Berlanga. That to me was a shock, and I did say in the live and in the post fight, like, you got to give him huge props because he did everything like against the odds. He went to Edgar Berlanga's backyard, New York City. Brand new trainer, Eddie Lee. So I think the odds were against Shiraz, just based on paper. But to his credit, he did a complete about face from his previous fight. That was a draw versus the Cuban fellow, and he did the right thing, and he just literally stood toe to toe, which was unexpected with Berlanga, and then KO'd him. Okay, Charles is saying, think we'll ever see another Bivol versus Benavidez. It's so ridiculous that we never got to see Canelo versus Benavidez. That's the fight that just slipped through, right? Slipped through the cracks or whatever. That would have been a real mega fight. But if Benavidez is serious that he will not go back down to 168, even if Canelo offered it to him, I mean, I guess we just never get to see that matchup. And the ridiculous thing is, think about that on either Cinco de Mayo or Mexican Independence Day. That would have been huge, right? You got a Mexican American versus a Mexican. I mean, the place would have gone nuts no matter who wins, right? But in any case, yeah, I mean, I regret that we never got to see that fight for sure. I would like, I mean, I enjoy watching Benavidez fight. I hope they get him a good, he is scheduled to fight, right? But, you know, I hope we get to see him more frequently, I guess. That's what I want to say. Sean, you feel like Canelo's never gonna call out David Benavidez? Yeah, probably not. What do you guys think about Tyson Fury? Do you think he's really retired? Or do you think he comes back if he gets offered Usyk one more time? Or if he gets offered Anthony Joshua? I don't know. Yeah, the Fury Joshua thing is another one that we just never got, right? It kind of sucks. Yeah, Carlin, I agree with you. I'd rather, you know, you get tired of seeing the same thing, right? I'd rather see Fury versus AJ than Fury versus Usyk, for sure. Don't know who to give Usyk next, you know? It's like, in a sense, I feel like Joseph Parker has earned the shot, just because he's been kind of lingering in the wings for a bit. Yeah, Fury. Charles says Fury's running out of time, right? Yeah, he needs to make a decision soon if he wants to. Sean feels like he'll be back. He's been posting videos of him training every few days. It's his sales tactic. Yeah, I think he likes to keep us, you know, salivating. Oh, now they're posting a nice little in memory of Ricky Hatton and Tom Gerbasi. The writer Tom Gerbasi. I think it's Gerbasi. I think I called him Gerbasi in my video, but he's a wonderful guy based out of Staten Island, New York City. He did this really great piece on me for the Ring magazine and was a wonderful person to be interviewed by. Carlin is saying Parker deserves it, meaning the fight versus Usyk, but it will most likely be Usyk dominating. True, can't see it being a hard fight for Usyk at all. Yeah, I mean, Parker will come with heavy shots for sure, right? And plenty of heart. Usyk is just such a fantastic boxer as a heavyweight that it's hard to make up for that. It's hard. That's a hard task to overcome. Usyk's footwork, his technical prowess, his defensive skill. Oh darn! Now we got a shot of Tom Gerbasi and his wife Sonia in the ring at Gleason's gym. Man, this is really heartwarming. Yeah, Tom was a really good guy. If you followed him on Instagram, he loved his. He was in a little football league, meaning soccer. He'd post pics of that of his games every weekend, and he used to run. He ran marathons. I'd always give him major props about that, saying, you know, I'm not doing that, man. Good for you. And then Tom also was a real foodie, so he loved posting pics of his meals on his little outings around New York City, and I would always comment on those too, like how he's making me gain weight just by looking at his pictures. But a real wonderful guy. So yeah, we lost two real good guys in boxing last week. So or this week past, but yeah, pretty tough week. Sean is saying Usyk doesn't do well against inside pressure fighters, but Parker lacks the power to earn Usyk's respect. Usyk wins via decision. Well, Parker does have some powers. The question is, can he land it on a as technically skilled fighter as Usyk, and that's the big question mark. But I mean, I think it's a fight that both fighters would get out for in terms of their training camp, and I'm confident that Joseph Parker and Andy Lee would come up with the best game plan possible, and that he would come in fantastic shape. And of course, Usyk's always in fantastic shape and would do his due diligence to come up with a game plan to deal with a heavy hitter like Joseph Parker. So, yeah, I mean, I would love to see that fight. Who do you guys think Itama should fight next? He's definitely not ready for Usyk. I think I made that point in my top 10 heavyweight and in another shorter video. I would kind of like to see him against Caballel, Ajit Caballel. Alright, so next fight up in this main event. I have to admit, I don't know either one of these guys. Brayton Gorham versus Yonar Alamo. These guys are fighting at junior welter or super lightweight, 140 pounds. So that's 10 stone, right? For you guys in the UK. Alright, these two fighters are getting ready to do their ring walk. This is a fight card happening out of Houston, Texas. I was trying to get a live stream for the fights taking place in Huntington, Long Island, but I just couldn't find it. So I don't know if that was off TV or off live stream or whatever. But yeah, I was interested in seeing this super middleweight named Junior Yunnan, because he's a fighter that I actually know of. He was a little kid when I was boxing out of Gleason's gym. And then, you know, he made his way through the amateurs and into the pros. So I've been kind of following him ever since. But he was like the little gym mascot, always running around the place when we were all training for our amateur and professional fights. So, yeah, I hope Junior Yunnan did well in his fight tonight out in New York. That was on Joe DeGuardia's Star Boxing. Joe DeGuardia, I'm really appreciative of him as a boxing promoter in New York, because that's where I got my first two fights. It was on his card. So thanks to Joe DeGuardia, I was able to turn pro. Why is it that when guys are on camera, they always feel obligated to start shadow boxing? This dude who's just in the ring, I don't know who or what he is. He's not in either fight camp, and he just like starts shadow boxing behind the ring announcer. It's just kind of weird. All right, so here we go. Here's the A side on this card, Brayton Gorham. So this is the Overtime OTX, Overtime Boxing Promotion in Houston, Texas. All right, Gorham is 20-0 with 16 KOs. He's 24. Coming out with a little fancy hat. Trying to look stylish. Showing it's the man code. Shadow box or hold up one fist. It's our only moves. That's funny. Okay. I guess that explains it. Can't relate, but it's all good. Alright, we have both fighters in the ring now. Gorham in his corner. He's out fighting out of the red corner. I like Lupe Contreras as an announcer. Some of those other ring announcers I could do without, but Lupe he's good at what he does. All right.
North America Junior Welterweight title. IBF President.
Oh, okay. Apparently this is for a minor belt.
Our judges at ringside. We have Jesse Reyes, along with Jose Roberto Torres, and Boy Center. And now,
I have to tell you, one of my least favorite announcers is that Terminator-looking dude for DAZN. I mean, I just think Contreras has way more class than this guy. Okay, this fellow Yonar is fighting out of Puerto Rico.
13 of those victories coming by way of KO. Here, Boxa representing Aguas Buenas, the Magic,
And Yonar looking very agitated, very animated, I should say. That's funny. All right, Sean, I appreciate your support. All right, let's see.
consisting of 20 victories, no losses, 16 of those victories coming by way of KO. Representing Houston, Texas.
Oh yeah, this is the hometown kid. Gorham is, yeah, guess he fights out of Houston, so yeah, he's the A-side, it's the main event. Let's see how this goes down. And Yonar has a bit of a height advantage here. Can't tell if he has the reach advantage just yet. We'll see in a moment. But I have to say, Yonar looks very animated and enthusiastic. So, can he pull off the upset here in the hometown kid's backyard? All right, here we go. First round. This is scheduled for 10. Well, right away, Yonar starts opening up with a nice long jab. And Yonar again with a 1-2. Thus far, Gorham's only thrown single jabs, one to the head and just now one to the body. Oh, apparently Shakur Stevenson is doing some commentary here, but I've got him on mute. Sorry, Shakur, just not interested. All right. And the Puerto Rican's starting to put together 3-punch combinations. Snaps the head back of Gorham. Gorham falls short a little bit with a jab, right hand to the body. Now Gorham's is starting to back away and try to use that lateral movement a bit against the ropes. Tries a double jab, but gets caught. You got Yonar just kind of smiling at him. Yonar's making very nice use of a long jab from the outside. Single shots. Halfway point here in the first round. Grayson's trying to use a little body shifting to work his way in. But right now he's very much on the outside. Just threw a single jab to the body. Tried throwing a 1-2 to the head, but Gorham's getting caught on his way in. Another single jab from Gorham. That's not going to do the trick here. He's going to need to put his punches together to get in on this, Alamo. Alamo put together 5 punches there. Nice stabbing jabs from Alamo from the outside, and then a 1-2. Smiles at Gorham and then moves side to side. Final minute of this first round. Oh, we get a double jab from Gorham. Lead left hook from Alamo. Single jab to the body by Gorham doesn't really land. Last half minute here of this round, Gorham finally opens up with 3 jabs and 1 right hand that don't land effectively. Oh, he put together a 1-2-3. The 3 landed. Now we got Alamo back in center ring. A little bit of an exchange right there, and the bell's about to ring here. There's the round. All right, well, if I was judging that fairly, I'd have to give it to Alamo, just based on volume. Oh, goodness. So we got Shakur, and it's either Ak or Barak. Don't know why you want it. Anyways. Hey, Miracle. Yeah, we're here watching a fight in, a live fight in Houston. All right. Maybe I'll turn Shakur on just for entertainment. Okay. All right, here we go. Second round. We have Gorham versus Alamo. I think they're fighting for a minor belt. It's 10 rounds. Gorman's fighting out of in his backyard, Houston, Texas, and Alamo is the B-side visiting from Puerto Rico. Oh, and Gorham just landed a nice right hand on Alamo right at the start of the second round. Alamo starting to use a little more upper body movement, a little more parrying. But Gorham caught him there with a nice little left hook. All right, so in this second round, Gorham is starting to open up a little bit more. But we got Alamo with some just jab, right hand, very fundamental. Gorham's patiently following him around, throwing single jabs. Oh, double jab, overhand right. Got him with a nice little left uppercut there. And Alamo was starting to show a little bit of awkwardness. I think that's just how he moves. Gorham looks like he's trying to use a nice, very straightforward measuring jab. Oh, nice jab to the body there by Gorham. I would like to see a little more volume from Gorham, and I'd like to see him set his punches up a little better. He's not really feinting with a jab or anything. And with a guy that is a seasoned guy like Alamo, you got to feint. Alamo getting cute here with his upper body movement, head movement. Okay, final half minute of this second round, scheduled for 10. And Alamo, being the veteran here, he knows he's starting to move around the ring a lot here, and that's just at the end of the round. It gives the optical illusion that he's doing something and maybe he's winning the round, but right now he put himself in the corner, which is not a smart move. Now we got two of them talking, and that's the round. Alamo goes back to his corner with a smile on his face. I guess there was a little exchange of words there towards the end of that round. All right, so if we want Fury versus AJ, Usyk versus Parker. What other fights do you guys want to see? I know Benavidez is scheduled to fight somebody, but who do you think he should really fight at 175? What about at some of the lighter weights? Who do you think Tank should fight next? I mean, really fight. Or do you think he's played himself by accepting this exhibition? All right, here we go. Third round, scheduled for 10. You got hometown fighter Bryant Gorham out of Houston, Texas, taking on somebody they flew in from Puerto Rico. Yonar Alamo. Okay, some nice hard jabs there by Gorham. Got Alamo moving around on the outside for the most part. Here we go. Nice little lateral movement by Alamo. Alamo tries for a jab to the body. Okay, now Gorham's starting to use a little more feinting motion with his feet, with his upper body. See Gorham throwing those nice hard single jabs. I'd love it if he would throw a feint and then the jab, or change up his targets, or change up the rhythm a little bit. All right, nice body shot to left uppercut, right hand by Gorham. Alamo misses with his right hand. Gorham being very patient and measured here on the outside. Again, throwing single jabs there. What Gorham doesn't want to do is let Alamo get ahead just by on basis of volume. All right, not gaming. Just type your question as long as it's related to boxing. All right, Alamo with some cute upper body movement. Gorham goes for the guillotine for a moment. Final minute of this. We are watching the main event of this overtime boxing event in Houston, Texas, mainly because that's the only live feed I could get. It's a kid named Bryant Gorham versus an opponent from Puerto Rico that they flew in by the last name Alamo. And Matt, it's for some minor belt 10-rounder. Okay, nice jab right to the body, left by Gorham, and he's finally opening up here in this final minute of this third round. Alamo is throwing hard punches, but he's a little bit awkward as a fighter. I could tell he's seasoned but awkward, if that makes any sense. In other words, his coordination is a little strange, but you can tell by the way he moves that he does have a fair amount of experience, especially when he starts doing herky-jerky kind of motions. All right, and that's the round. All right, Sean says Moses versus Parker. Okay. I don't know. I feel like Parker's earned his shot higher up. I feel like not that it's a step backwards. I mean, I know Parker's fighting Wardley, so that's already done. That's already been made. But yeah, Moses versus Parker would be an interesting matchup because I think, we haven't seen anybody get very many rounds in with Moses, and I think Parker could. All right, Wilder versus Ruiz. Now that's a funny one because I feel like both guys are shot, but fair, and then that's fair, right? Because Wilder's shot. I don't know. Ruiz he's been shot. I mean, not so much shot. He just hasn't been serious. So that's a fair match. Tank versus retirement. That's hilarious. And Boots versus Crawford. Yeah, Sean, I would love to see Boots versus Crawford. But Crawford is saying he doesn't want to come back down to 154. So I don't know, I mean, that's the problem when you jump up in weight, right? And you put that on, it's like, it's hard to take it off. witness Roy Jones when he blew himself up. All right, here we go. 4th round out of 10. No diss to Alamo, but I almost feel like I hope that Gorham can get him out of there, because I don't know that I want to watch this for a full 10 rounds. Not like I don't mind hanging out with you guys, but anyways. Yeah, I mean, this is not a high-level fight by any means. So, all right, but Gorham's doing the right thing here. He's kind of hiding behind, not quite that peekaboo guard, but almost. Yeah, it's almost a peekaboo / classic guard. He's not doing the bob and weave. Oh, there he does. Just as I say it, he does a nice little weave. Comes back with a body shot. Another body shot, right hand. Nice stab to the body by Gorham, but Alamo comes back with a stabbing jab of his own. They hold on the inside, trying to punch each other with their free hand. Ref finally breaks it up. We're halfway through this 4th round. Nice little check left hook there by Gorham. Oh, nice 1-2 by Alamo. And Alamo's starting to dance around here. He switches for a moment he switches to southpaw. And then they tie up again on the inside. And both fighters trying to throw with their free hand. Ref breaks it up. Back to center ring. Alamo right back on the 1-2. Nice jab there by Alamo. Splits Gorham's guard. Gorham, to his credit, he's being nice and patient. Very disciplined with his small footwork, half shell guard or peekaboo style guard. He has his opponent up against the ropes, trying to get off some shots on the inside. Oh, but Alamo, veteran move there, switches position, sneaks in a little short uppercut. This is a good learning experience for Gorham. You know, getting that rough and tumble on the inside. All right, and that's the round. Matt G, what would my corner advice be to which fighter? The hometown fighter or the opponent? Oh, my corner advice be to Spike Ruiz could clip Wilder, especially he's locked. Yeah, for sure. Wilder's so shot that Ruiz could clip Wilder for sure. I mean, yeah, Wilder's been shot since Fury. I think Wilder's been shot since Fury 2. Never mind Fury 3, you know, and then Joseph Parker just put the nail in the coffin. So everything post that, and then Zhang just annihilated him. So, you know, he should have retired like 3 fights ago. Jonathan, hey, how are you? Salute, or salute. We are watching this main event on Overtime Boxing. It's taking place in Houston, Texas. There's a hometown kid. I've never heard of either fighter. Hometown kid named Gorham, fighting a fellow out of Puerto Rico, last name Alamo. So Alamo's right now moving around on the outside. He's got nice lateral footwork. And Gorham is doing the right thing, just taking small, disciplined steps. Oh, nice. He threw a jab, left hook, right hand. Another left hook, lead left hook by Gorham. You can tell that Alamo has a lot of experience. He's probably one of these guys. He looks to be one of those guys that kind of learned his craft, like in the ring, because he's kind of awkward, but you can tell from just what he does that he does have a lot of experience. Jonathan, they must be up-and-coming fighters. Well, I mean, Gorham, they're trying to bring along, right? They feeding him this minor belt versus a beatable opponent that they brought in from the outside. Oh, nice Gorham with a 1-2 left body shot, left hook to the head. So I like how he's just sticking to fundamentals here. At the halfway point of this 5th round. This is for a minor belt at the 140-pound weight class. I mean, you know, Gorham's not shown me anything that makes me think he's a fighter that's he's not world class. You know, no diss to him. This is the first time I'm ever looking at him, but and just there, Gorham lands a nice little left hook on Alamo at the end of a 4-punch combo. Now Alamo has Gorham up against the ropes and in the corner. So Alamo's the perfect guy to bring in as an opponent because he's elusive enough that he's very difficult to knock out, but he's not skilled enough to pose a huge threat. So he's like one of these perennial opponent types. And he's a good test for anybody who's an up-and-comer. Final 30 seconds of this 5th round. There's some nice long jabs there from Gorham. Nice 1, 2, 3. And he's talking to him. It looks like they're tied up in the corner. That's the round. All right, so now in the second half, if I'm Gorham's corner, I'd be trying to get him to set things up a little more, open up a little more, because this guy's an opponent. You're going to win the decision, so we need to use this as a learning experience. Sean James, I found him driving Uber on the weekends. Yeah, well, I don't know. Do they have Uber in Puerto Rico? You know what? There's a market for guys like this. Like there are matchmakers who know of all these people overseas, whether they're in Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Mexico, wherever. They got like a Rolodex. Nobody has a Rolodex anymore, but they got a list of contacts of all these, you know, they got a list of contacts, say, in gyms and these places overseas where they know they can find a guy, an opponent, who will come in and fight, you know, earn a couple $1,000s, and they know they're not a contender. They're never gonna have a shot at being a world champion. So they're in this to make the purse. And provided they have enough of a skill set and they come in good condition, they can put on a decent show. And that's what the matchmaker is looking for. He doesn't want a dude who's just going to come in and lie down. I mean, this guy isn't really a Uber driver level, like, bum. I mean, you could tell he's in shape. He does have some skills. He does have a lot of experience. He probably has more experience than the other kid, but he's just not, like, he's not a high caliber fighter, that's for sure. And just as I say that, he lands a nice 1-2 on the hometown kid. So believe me, a couple of middlemen probably made some money off of bringing this kid in from Puerto Rico, you know? Like the guy who's the immediate contact with him and then the guy who contacted the contact. Anyways, yeah, nice couple of little left hooks there by Gorham. Again, he's staying nice and disciplined, but I would like to see him open up a little bit more. Okay, just threw like 3 jabs in a row. She threw a jab, right hand, and left hook, but those were kind of wide. So I would love to see him set things up to the body a little bit more. He threw a single jab to the body, then a single jab to the head. Nice 1-2 by Gorham. But yeah, I mean, if he wants to break into the, you know, international level, he needs to, you know, he doesn't look like he's comfortable fighting on the inside yet. This hometown kid out of Houston. Jonathan says, like Apollo Creed found Rocky. Huh. Okay. Now, I'm not sure what Alamo's objective is in this fight, but, you know, if he feels that he could win this fight, he does have to start opening up a lot more. Like, just tons of volume. Because he's definitely going to need, he's going to need a dominant performance just to get a draw, and he's going to need a KO to get a win. And I think he knew that before he even got off the plane. So if he actually has it in his heart to try to pull an upset, he's got to turn up the steam like tenfold. All right, so I think again we can say clearly the hometown kid's going to get the decision no matter what. So that being said, if I'm giving him advice, I'd want him to show me a little more feinting, set the combinations up better, mix it up, head and body. I don't know if they've worked on having him fight on the inside, but he might as well try to work that a little bit, work the angles. Because he's not showing me that level yet. The Puerto Rican kid, he needs to open up like crazy and just throw caution to the wind and just tons of volume, because otherwise he's not even going to get a draw. It won't even be a close decision if he doesn't open up. All right, let's see how this goes down. We've got a few more rounds for this drama to play out. All right, here we go. 7th round out of 10. We open with the Puerto Rican moving a little bit on the outside of they're now standing toe to toe in the center of the ring. Alamo's walking to Gorham now. Got him pinned against the ropes. Referee separates him. Back to center ring. Gorham tries to counter with a body shot there. Interesting choice. Now Alamo's starting to open up with volume a little bit. Then he goes back to his lateral movement. Gorham with a 1-2 body shot. But he should start opening up a little bit more. I don't see enough feint jabs. Lands a nice 1-2. Palms his opponent's head a little bit. Now they're standing right on the inside. So good little exchanges there. Back at mid-range, Alamo gets off a good jab right hand. But now when he gets Gorham up against the ropes, he just completely smothered himself by closing distance and grappling. So here again, they're standing toe to toe, trying to punch with their free hand. Cute little uppercut there by Alamo. But again, he needs more volume, even here on the inside. Cute little hooks there, landing for Gorham. And Gorham pushes him off. They're back to mid-range. All right. Alamo now has Gorham up against the ropes. They're in close. Oh, Alamo got off a couple nice little right uppercuts. He's holding the rope with his hand and the ref on the far side of the ref, so the ref didn't see it, but all good. Back to center ring. Gorham's throwing these single punches, which, yeah, like I said, if I was his corner, I would not let him get away with that, but that's the round. Did anybody catch Naoya Inoue's fight? I still haven't seen the whole thing. I just looked at some highlights, but I was curious to know what you guys thought of that. Because a lot of people were saying that Naoya Inoue was ducking MJ. Well, they finally fought. Sounds like Inoue really dominated, but I wanted to know what you guys thought. All right, we're going into the pseudo championship rounds here with this fight. Not a high level fight, guys. This is just a very entry level fight card. All right, so we are in the, well, actually, we're not even in the championship rounds. I apologize. We're one round away from that. We're in the 8th round out of 10. Gorham opens with a nice jab to the body. Alamo came in good shape because he's still able to throw plenty of volume here. But it doesn't look like Alamo's able to change up the rhythm of this fight. Or another nice stab to the body by Gorham. Hi Polywalk, how are you doing? Most of the times I'm just working out in running shorts, as you can tell. Alright, now we got Alamo moving around laterally a lot on the outside. Now they're tied up. Ref breaks him apart. One thing Gorham is doing well is he's very disciplined about his guard, whether it's a half shell like he's using right there or the sort of peekaboo defense that he's using right now. He does maintain a guard, which is a good thing to see. And I like that he doesn't use a peering high double guard. Oh, and right there, Alamo just caught Gorham with a nice 1-2. Oh, shorts. So funny. Okay, my bad. Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, I've been doing more live streams, so I haven't been doing a lot of workout short videos, except the lifting stuff. Oh, cool. Yeah, calisthenics, yoga, good stuff. I mean, I need to improve my game in both those areas. Definitely the yoga. I try to do some stretching, but I'm way tighter than I want to be. Right, here we go. Last minute of this 8th round. It'll be the hometown kid taking the decision at this point, because it doesn't look like he's going to be able to stop this opponent they brought in for him to win this minor belt. Right now the fighters are tied up on the inside, getting off punches with their free hand. And again, Alamo's playing the role of being the guy on the outside. And the thing is, right, with Gorham, you know, they're trying to set him up with his minor belt. You know, the next step from there is to try to elevate him to fight on the world-class level. But he needs to work, he needs to show me he can work the body more. I mean, a nice jab to the body is one thing, but being able to work on the inside is a whole different thing. Polywog says, I do jump rope for cardio. Yeah, for sure. I hate yoga. I prefer conditioning to cardio. Yeah, I get it. You don't like yoga, but you do it anyways. I mean, I respect that, because yeah, I should work on like my stretching, or I don't really do specific yoga. I've only dabbled in that, but I know it's helpful. So, all right, here we go. 2 more rounds of this. Predictably, this kid Gorham is gonna walk away with a unanimous decision victory over this custom-made opponent. They flew in from Puerto Rico. All right, thanks, Charles. Appreciate you joining us. Yeah, I bet it's I bet you're tired. I'm starting to get tired myself. I have no idea what time it is, but thank you for joining us, Charles. We'll see you the next time. Polywog, favorite martial art? Well, at the moment, just MMA, but that's not really a martial art. So, I mean, I started with judo. But you like yoga, hate cardio. I get it. Oh yeah, that makes tons of sense, doing the yoga to have better kicks. I asked Benny the Jet what the most important thing was, and he was like, being able to do a full split. So I was like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. You know, you need that flexibility. All like kickboxer types, they got crazy flexibility. They can do that full split, you know. Filipino martial arts, yeah, I love that stuff. Sticks. I just messed around with that too. It's a lot of fun though. I had a chance to practice what they called V-Jitsu because it was founded by a fellow who called himself Professor V. As far as I know, I think he's Filipino, not sure, but anyways, I learned from a student of his in Harlem. All right, here we go. 9th round of this, Gorham versus Alamo. This is Gorham's coming out party because he's going to win a minor belt for his efforts here tonight. Alamo will get a paycheck and maybe the opportunity to fight again on another card because he did make a show of it. You know, he came in prepared. He has enough of a skill set to not get knocked out. And he's coming to fight. He's not running around the ring. Polywog saying, I like learning about Hawaiian martial arts. Yeah, I actually trained with a fellow who was, I can't remember the name of the martial art, but the school was, I know he said that it was Hawaiian. That's all I remember. It is rare. It's very like flowery, and it looks, I don't want to say this, it looks fruity, like it looks silly because you're doing all this hand stuff, but it's really deadly because it's like, it's deceptive what they're doing with their hands to like deflect and whatnot. Ki kapalua. Huh, interesting. Okay, so they're trying to give Alamo a pep talk here in the corner. Alright, so we can't hear what the corner's saying because it's just the desk talking over everything. Alright, final round, guys. I expect Gorman to win this fight maybe either 9 or 10 rounds to nothing. Yeah, the hand stuff is weapons, muscle memory stuff. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the best way I can describe it, is that it's totally deceptive because if you don't know what you're looking at, you think it's just somebody waving their hands around, but they're deflecting stuff, they're redirecting stuff, and they're setting up a strike. Yeah, I know my friend who practiced that wound up dropping a young smart-ass kid who just wouldn't leave him alone. He wound up like doing one of those right to the kid's liver, I guess, or something. Anyways, kid wound up having to go to the emergency room, this and that, just because he knew exactly where to touch him with just with the 2 fingers and the thumb. Yeah. Anyways, but that's what you get from opening your mouth and talking mess to a seasoned martial artist. My friend's actually a super nice guy, and he didn't want to hurt the kid, but the kid actually like stepped to him while my friend was practicing with another friend of ours who's also an older person. Yeah, kidney shot, right. Yeah, but the kid just kept going, oh, that'll never work, that won't really work, da 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 da. My friend's working with another friend, he's not even dealing with this kid, but this kid jumps in the ring and then, like, does what he does, so my friend just boop, and that was that. Anyways, I guess he learned his lesson, maybe? I don't know. Alright, here we go. Last round of this, last minute of this, with this kid out of Houston, Texas. I almost want to say Houston because I lived in New York City for so long, and there's a street called Houston Street. You pronounce it Houston, not Houston. I don't know why, but that's just how it is. Alright, here we got we've got these guys standing toe-to-toe in this final minute, getting some good exchanges on the inside. Kind of feel like Gorm should have taken advantage of this earlier in the fight just to get the experience, but it is what it is. Now they're tied up against the ropes. Last 30 seconds. Alamo needs a KO here if he wants to get a W, but he keeps motioning to Gorm like, come on, but that's not what it is. You know, Gorm is standing his ground, landing some nice little shots on the inside. But that's it. That's the fight. Gorm raises his hand in victory. There's no way he didn't get the decision. So that's that. All right. Tell me your final thoughts on anything related to boxing or martial arts, guys, and then we're going to call it an evening. Alright. What other fights are you guys looking forward to? I appreciate you joining us, Polywog, and congrats on your white belt, by the way. Sean, thanks for helping out. Appreciate it. Good night. Thank you for joining us, and God bless you too. Alright, safe to say that the hometown kid won this, but for the sake of completion, no, I don't want to hear all this rigmarole. Alright, Polywog, what else are you practicing at the moment? So you're doing a little yoga, some Filipino stuff. Are you using the sticks or blades? I was almost thinking I'd get myself a couple of dowels just to swing around a little bit. Alright, so one judge gave him 9 rounds, two judges gave him 9 rounds, one judge gave him 8. Alright, it's the IBF North America belt. Woohoo. Alright. Okay, so this kid gets a belt. Alright, Polywog, if you're still there, I'm going to call it an evening. Thank you very much for joining, and we'll see you the next time. Good night.